Our topic today is overcoming objection. I'm going to break that topic down into four main areas of discussion. Number one, why you should welcome objections versus regretting them. Number two, the four categories of objections. Number three, how do you become proficient at overcoming objections? And lastly, the benefit to you. If you take the time to really get good at overcoming objections, what's in it for you? So let's start out by talking about why should you actually welcome objections from your hiring authorities as well as the candidates that you represent. Basically, an objection is a buying sign. It's a request for more information. If you're in the recruiting profession, you definitely are in a sales profession. And whenever you're selling, you're going to have to overcome objections and rejection by both your hiring authorities and your candidates. In fact, that's the most unique part about the recruiting profession. We're the only sales profession that has people on both sides of our sales. And as you and I both know, people change their minds. They have other priorities. Sometimes they disappear. Sometimes they change their answers. And so we have to get great at this. We have to get great at overcoming objections and really determining what is most important, not only to the hiring authorities that we represent, but also the candidates that we're representing. Objections come in four main categories. Number one is price objections. Number two, postponement. Number three, personal objections. And number four, service objections. It's really important that you understand the four different categories of objections because then you're going to more effectively overcome them. I want to give you an example of a price objection, for example. From a hiring authority might worry about the person making too much money. Maybe their salary demands are higher than some of the current employees. If they're using an external recruiter, their objection might be your fee, or it could be the bill rate that you're charging. And so again, often someone will give a price objection because they have other objections also, either to the quality of the candidate, the experience level, but you have to determine what type of objection it is in order for you to overcome it. So let's talk about postponement objections. That's anything that delays the process. That's a person that wants to send you their paperwork, a hiring authority that doesn't give you interviewing times up front. Personal objection is something against you. Maybe this candidate has worked with you in the past. Maybe the hiring authority doesn't have rapport with you right now. And lastly, the service objection. This is mostly in the case of the job seeker where they just don't want to work in your particular industry. Now, how do you get great at this? Role-playing is the best way. Write down objections that are stopping you because you need to overcome 3 objections with every call you make or you're making customer service calls. And now you might think, okay, so I'm going to practice this, I'm going to role play it, I'm going to determine what type of objection this is. How does this benefit me as a recruiter? Well, you'll have more hires. You're going to have more hires that are retained by the hiring authorities, and you will develop a much better rapport with both the candidates and the hiring authorities because, see, your reputation is on the back of every person you represent. So you not only want to attract the top talent, you want to hire them or place them in a job, and you also want them to be happy at the job and be retained. And all of that will happen when you get great at overcoming objections. Thanks for joining me.